Hello guys, welcome to my channel Manju Machine. Today we are going to explain regarding the OSI model. This is one of my favorite topic and a favorite subject. So this is the day two. So day one we are already discussed regarding the unicast communication, multicast and broadcast communicating to different system and what is networking and switches, routers. So today we will be going to discuss regarding the OSI model. This is a very interesting topic and also like interview based questions. So if you go to any interviews and try to crack the networking hardware networking interviews, so this is the most asked questions in many of the interviews like for the networking position or hardware position, because this is the most fundamental question. So every interview will ask. So I just kindly request you please focus on this. So it will be very interesting, and also it is a most fundamental questions regarding the OSM model. So begin with the OSM model. So before the OSM model in the year 1960s and 1970s, I'm going to type it here, 1960s and 1970s. There is a problem actually. We have different systems in the early days of computing. Each companies like build have their own private networking systems, right? So we'll be explaining one by one point. In the early days of computing, each companies, just imagine the Dell, IBM, Apple, HP, so build their own private networking systems. Say they could not communicate to each other, different bands. Actually, these systems could not communicate to each other. Actually, they are unable to communicate. These systems could not communicate to each other. Okay. So there was no common structure actually to any rules or any like protocols to communicate to each other. The different. There was no common structure. There was no common structure or rules for data communication. The communication or networking, there was nothing actually. I'm just adding this. So these are three main points. Like if you're trying to make a call, I'm going to give you an example, a simple, small example. So if you're trying to make a call from an iPhone to a Nokia, but they'll be using different languages, so the call gets failed. So they were unable to make communication different mobile brands. I'm going to type this one also. This example, like trying to make a call from an iPhone to a Nokia, but they use different languages. So the calls fails. So unable to communicate to each other because of different brands. So the standardization had they invented in the mid 1970s. The world began connecting more computers and networks. So there was an urgent need actually for a universal model that all systems could follow. They need to connect different brands to one networking. So two main organizations started working on network models. That is the International Standard Organization, and one more is International Telegraph and Telephone Consultative Committee. I'm going to type this. So this is the basic need. Actually, the need for standardization started in mid 1970s. So the world began connecting more computers like that. Began connecting more computers and network. And also there was an urgent for a universal model that all could follow, systems could follow. And two main organizations started working on networking models. One is ISO and second one is CCITT. ISO full form is International Standard okay, ISO okay, Organization for Standardization, and CCIT is International Telegraph and Telephone Consultative Committee. The main goal is what's the main goal, guys? What the main purpose actually? What is it? They create a reference model that defines how device communicate layer by layer. They want to create one model actually. They want to create a model, reference model. You can tell that defines how devices communicate layer by layer. Then only they created the OSI model. Then only they get the OSI model development since 1977 to 1984. They started building the model after years of research and draft. ISO has created a reference, released an OSI reference model in 1984. That is Open System International Connection. They invented it OSI, Open System Interconnection, means systems that can communicate with other systems, not closed or private ones. There was a development in the OSI model, OSI model development in the year 1972, 1984. OSI model development introduced in 1977 and 1984. So in 1977, ISO started building the model, and after years of research and draft, ISO released the iOS reference model in 1984. For years of research and draft, ISO released the OSI reference model in 1984. OSI, what is OSI, guys? OSI, what is the full form? This is the main reference model. It asks for any interview questions. Is open, yes, open systems interconnection. Open systems means the name only suggests open systems. What is that? Open systems. Name only suggests means systems that can communicate with other systems, not closed or private one. Simple logic. That's it. They designed the 7 layers actually. How is the design actually? The OSI model breaks networking into 7 separate layers, each responsible for a specific task. So what is the design actually model? The design model is design of OSI, the 7 layers. Each layer has its own different specification. Okay, the OSI model breaks networking into 7 separate layers, each responsible for specific task. Each layer has its own respective tasks and responsibilities. So we'll start with there are 7 layers in this is an interview question. And so in all the interviews for the networking unwitting, you can accept you can expect this interview questions. So be prepared to answer these questions. It's if you just practice for 1 or 2 times or 3 times, 4 times, it will be very easy. So from the top layer, you will get it application layer. 7 layers there. Application layer. What is the use? Second is presentation layer. Third is session layer. Fourth is transport layer. Fifth is network layer. Sixth is physical layer. I'm sorry, data link layer. Seventh is physical layer. So each layer has its own specific task. Okay, special task for each layer. We'll explain one by one layers. Okay. Sorry. So we'll be explaining layer by layer. Okay. We'll give different code for each layer. Okay. Let it be that. What does application layers does? Application layers, yes, guys, uses facing interface, user facing interface, and like you'll be using yeah, this should be actually from top to bottom. So application will be top layer. This is presentation is sixth. This is fifth session. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like this from the top layer. So the 7 layers of the OS from top to bottom. This is actually correct. Okay. So this is the layer name and main function. What's the main function of the each layer and what is the real life examples? You mention this. What is the main function of the layers actually? Application layers, it provides the services to the user. The main application like Chrome, web browser, Gmail, WhatsApp, chat, like this, the main function. Okay. So main function is provide services to the user. And what's the real life example for this one? You can tell this is application. Name suggests application. Gmail is application, right? WhatsApp is application. Mozilla is application. Web browser. You can give web browser. And also next it will come presentation layer. We'll name it in different color. Different color. Any color we can use just for your reference. So the presentation translates and encrypts the data and compression translates, encrypts, compress the data. What is the main function of the presentation, guys? You are right. Translates, encrypts, compression, decompression, encryption, decryption, compression, decryption. We'll just give the brief example. Compress data. What's the real life example? I can tell you like JPG photos, MP3, MP4, video format like SSL encryption, so many things like this. This example. Next will come the session layer. What the session layer does, guys? Yes, you know it, right? Session layer. Session layer is nothing but it does. Yeah, it's a open, maintain and translate and termination connection. Start, ends, and communicate the session. Like it starts and ends the communication, maintains the communication. Communication sessions. So it is going to use actually an example, real life example, like you can tell a video call, remote login session, like banking websites. So it will be used in video calls, like especially like you'll be having the timeline, what time you have to log in, and remote login session and banking session. Banks. It will be used in banks because banks, like if you open the bank site and if you leave for the idle for 5-10 minutes, you'll get automatically logged out. So session may play the main important role in the banking sites. So it is very sensitive data. It will be utilized for all the teams on the users, so that it can't be misused by anyone. So that if you leave idle for 5 minutes, it will get automatically logged out automatically. The session name itself specify the session layer. So it will be the limited time for that. So next will be transport layer. This is the main layer, main heart of the layer actually. Okay, this plays a very important role. Every layer has its own main task, and in this one, transport layer is very useful layer, main key role. It plays a very important role in this transport layer. So this ensures the correction between the complete data transfer and ensure the correct and complete data transfer. Ensure the data delivery 100%. Ensure the data delivery or data transfer 100% to the end user. Okay, and where it used in online games. What is the main real life example like TCP UCP? TCP UCP is a huge concept. Actually, they can do it in one more next video. TCP and UDP used in online games. So next comes the network layer. Network layer is to find the best path to data. Network layer is nothing but you will find the best path. So it's like routers. Mainly play a role. IP address are the router. Main function is IP address. Real for example, IP address are router, which is MAC address. So your network layer find the best path. So data transferring from one network to other network. You can color is different color. You can give a different color here. You can give this color. And what is the main function of this network layer? Network layer is find the best path. Find the best path to data transfer to the different network. And what is the example? Real life example for network like switches. No, switches will not be there for network layer. It's IP address, physical address, and routers. It's a basic example. Next come the data link layer. We'll color it in different color. Some random color we'll select. So data link layer. What's the main transfer data between devices and the network? What's the main function of the data link layer? Transfers data between devices on a network. So what's the example of this? Main example is switches and so switches, you know, right? MAC address, learn the MAC address. This is a different topic. You can explain the whole next topic, next video. Next last layer is a physical layer. We'll color it in different font, different text color. What does the physical layer does? Physical layer, nothing but is a bits and bytes, actually cables, transmit raws, transmission will happen like it transmits raw bits over the medium. Cables, your patch cables come to the picture here, like cables, Wi-Fi, hub, router, just plays an important role in the physical layer. Cables, Wi-Fi, hub, connectors, bits and bytes. So why we use the OSI model? So why we use the OSI model? Everyone has understood the clear picture of the OSI model, right? Why it is important? Because standard communication rules for all the different systems. Okay, there is standard communication, and second is helps in troubleshooting network issues, printer issues, any issues. The OSI model, we can just troubleshoot from the layer 1 to layer 7 and break complex networking into simple, easy layers. It's universal used in teaching design networks. So by this, we'll come to end of this video regarding the OSI model. I think I tried to explain all the details of the OSI model. Please ping me in the comment. If you want this, I'll be like uploading this Excel file also. You can go to the Excel file for the reference and go to this all the steps and try to prepare for this interview question. This will be the interview questions. Most of the interview will be asking the basic questions. If you're looking for the networking L1 support, L2 support, L1 support, so it will be easy for you to crack the questions, crack the interview questions if you go this process step by step. Okay, that's all for today's class, and we'll be meeting in the next class. And have a wonderful day. Please try to subscribe my channel and also like this channel and share it with the friends so that I can make more and more useful videos for you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.